Our next speaker will show us how Kurz is minimizing plastic waste through innovative transfer technology and in-house recycling systems. And please welcome with me the Executive Senior Vice President Global Technology, CTO at LEONHARD KURZ Stiftung, Ralf Hopfensitz.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the beauty of embellishment. My name is Ralf Hopfensitz. I'm a member of the board at LEONHARD KURZ. We are, when it comes to functional or decorative transfer technology, we are the world leader. I have the pleasure today to guide you to 10 minutes talking about embellishment and how embellishment in the packaging industry can be sustainable and how we got there. So before I start, maybe I give a little introduction what Kurz actually does. We help the packaging, or our products are found in very much different industries such as packaging, automotive, textile, medical, plastic decoration, high security. And I brought you one sample here. You see here a beautiful box, packaging box for champagne. Anything you see here which has a gold shining effect is realized by transfer technology. I'll come later on and explain you what this is in detail. You find our products also on labels, on cardboards, on greeting cards, gift cards, plastic decoration, plastic containers for the cosmetic area, even when it goes to decorating glass. All this is done with transfer technology. Whenever it's getting shiny, blinky, combination of letters, haptic, with nice structure, any kind of color, that's what we can do. That's where we can help our customers to catch the point of attention at the point of sale. We can do this as well as in conventional methods, as well as also in digital. So very similar to what the printing industry does, to comply also with the needs of today to have an individuality in the embellishment decoration of packaging. You also find transfer technology in the textile industry, not necessarily only in the areas where we show here with the fashion, but also when it comes to personal protection, such as protection against heat, cold temperature, or even sunlight. This can be applied with transfer technology. In the automotive industry, we offer interior and also exterior decoration, very often in combination with backlighting technology or with framing around displays, even so in combination with touch-sensitive displays, which we also provide for the automotive industry, maybe for handheld medical devices or in the area of white goods. And last but not least, in our business area security, we try to make the world a little bit safer in fighting counterfeit. With a lot of banknotes in the world, they trust on our technology of optical holographic effects with change in color. And you can also find this in ID documents or whenever is going about trademark protection in combination also with track and trace solutions as a software. This is also something that we provide from Kurz. So we're trying hard to say, how can we define our product in one sentence? And we came up and saying, well, we are the ones who can make every product unique. So making every product unique and combining this with embellishment, how do we do it? And before I go into that, let me explain you a little bit what transfer technology actually is. The base of transfer technology is we take a clear polyester carrier and we coat this in a roll-to-roll operation with different layers. Typically first it's a release layer, followed by a color or decoration giving layer or a protection layer, very often in combination with a metallized layer to get this really nice shiny effect on the box you just saw. And finally with an adhesive layer, which then makes sure that this product bonds guaranteed very good with the substrate of the customer. Now, how is this applied onto, for example, a cardboard fold box? You can see this here in this little animation. I also brought a leaflet here. You can see this is our product here. This silver or gold color foil. Our customers put it on the substrate, in this case it's a piece of paper, and then typically they transfer only the coatings with the adhesive layer on to the paper. And in the second step, they do release the polyester carrier, and look at this. This is how it's created such a beauty, such a nice look on this piece of paper. You can imagine this could also be any kind of packaging. And the important thing is, since we do release the layer here, we do not, as very often other ways of decorating where you have a polyester which is laminated onto the paper, we do release the polyester again, and by this we actually do not interfere with the recyclability of the customer's product, which means our customer has not to worry that the recyclability of his product is anyhow reduced or influenced by this decoration. Which means if we're talking about the inkability, or we're talking about even compostability, this product can be processed as it would not have this decoration. And what is also very important when we're talking about paper recycling, very often the first step of paper recycling is a sorting process. So you need to make sure that the system still sees this as paper, and also here our decoration in general does not influence this sorting process. I just saw my colleague just gave out some of these things. If you like to try it out, it's really a little magical moment when you peel off the polyester, so have fun with that. Now, I showed you that the product of our customer is already very, very sustainable. But remember, I have something here left in my hand, and this is the carrier. This carrier we peeled off. And in reality, this carrier is considered as industrial waste in this process. In very often cases, this is used, for example, for industries which have a high demand for thermal heat, such as, for example, the concrete industry. They use this residual material. Basically, what do? They burn it, and they use the heat. In some other cases, this could also, quite honestly, end in landfill. So we said, well, being a company who want to put a high rate of sustainability in our products, this is not something we can accept. So we went back and we took this residual from our customer and said, like, what ideas do we have to do with this? And the first idea we had is we actually reduced the thickness of this carrier. Typically between 12 and 23 microns is the thickness standard in the industry. We reduced this down to 6 micron without changing the properties. And as a matter of fact, by this we were already able to cut the product carbon footprint by almost half. This is good news, but there's still a leftover, right? So we thought about, no, this cannot be the final solution, just reducing. We need to find something what we can do with it. So we went back into the lab, we gave it to our chemists and said, like, do something with it. Come out, have an idea, what can we do with this? So they came and they took this material, they cut it in pieces, and very soon it was very clear that if we want to do something out of this which industry can use, it needs to be as pure as possible. As a matter of fact, the majority of what I'm holding here in my hand is polyester. There are layers on there, but these layers are so thin that the majority is the polyester. So the idea was to, how can we separate the coatings we brought on before and separate it into the coatings and into the polyester and then reuse the polyester. And after several trials and quite a lot of time, we finally succeeded in creating an in-house process to make out of this material an recycled PET material, which has an extremely high purity by separating the coatings from the polyester film. And this material can even be used in very typical industries using polyester chips. We even succeeded in making yarn for textile for technical textiles in, and what I was always call the championship of recycling is to make a new polyester film out of it, which then can be used to be recoated and be again used for the embellishment process. And as a matter of fact, we succeeded in the lab making a roll of new polyester with a content of up to 45% of our RPT, and you can see how clear this is. So this is something we can reuse for our process, for our product, and by this we can keep the recycling loop in a top level, close the recycling loop, and really use the material again for what we originally have used it. So coming out from the lab with these results, we said, okay, what does it help if we can do this in lab style? We need to scale this up for industrial process. So we invested a lot of money and it took a lot of time, so we created an industrial process to process this material on our premises in Fürth in south of Germany. And as a matter of fact, this plant is in operation. We are scaling it up right now. We're already taking back material from our customers, processing it in this facility, and creating the rPET chips you just saw on the picture. I think this is a very nice story, and I would like to round this up with a very nice project that we were able to realize. You see here a label from a very well-known herbal liquor manufacturer in Germany, Jägermeister, and we were chosen from Jägermeister to partner in this project to embellish their label for their bottles. And just because, number one, we were the ones who were able to reduce the thickness of the carrier, and by this reduce already the CO2 footprint of the customer. And in the second, we were the one who were able to offer him the process of transfer, where he does not have any plastic on his label, only the thin layers of lacquer. And finally, we were the only one in the industry, and we are actually the only one who can take back the material, recycle it in such a high circular loop that it will become a good, usable raw material in the end. So I'm coming to the end. This, for us, is we're very proud to get to this point here. I think it's a nice story, and it shows how embellishment can be realized in a sustainable way without losing the beauty of a nice decoration in the packaging area. So if I have caught your interest and have waken up your curiosity, please feel free to visit us here. We're at booth B10. Me and my colleagues are happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you for your attention.